my Father honor. We're approaching the period of Thanksgiving, and Thanksgiving has become a commercialized holiday. The intent of it has been lost in things like turkey, which we all will eat, and dressing, and meals, and football, and family, and Black Friday, and shopping, and spending money, starting our Christmas holiday. But I would like to challenge you. I'm wondering, in preparation for your meal, can you find one somebody to serve? Serve them a turkey sandwich. Serve them a plate from your dinner. We're all focused on Thanksgiving right now. But one of the best ways to show thankfulness is to be of service. Most of us think that Thanksgiving has been an American holiday ever since the Pilgrims' feast in 1621. But Thanksgiving did not become a national holiday until 1863, some 242 years later. The holiday that we know today exists because of one woman's desire to serve. Her name was Sarah Hay. Sarah was born in Newport, New Hampshire in 1788. She lived at a time when most women lived and worked at home as housemakers, wives, and mothers. Young girls were not allowed or encouraged to go to college. Sarah, however, wanted to learn. When her brother Horatio came home from Dartmouth College, he would teach her what he had learned in school. In this way, she also received a college education. Sarah eventually got married and had 5 children. But when her husband died unexpectedly, Sarah became a writer. And in fact, she is the one who wrote the poem Mary Had a Little Lamb in 1830. Sarah eventually became an editor. As an editor, Sarah began to write articles talking about the change that can happen because of one person's service. Sarah began to write articles about how America needed a national day of Thanksgiving. She remembers celebrating the holiday when she was growing up in New England. She felt that it should be a special day for the entire country. At that time, only certain states celebrated Thanksgiving, and the holiday often took place on a different date in different places. She wrote thousands of letters to governors, to senators, to members of Congress, to presidents, year after year, looking for support for her idea. Finally, after 40 years, her hard work paid off. President Abraham Lincoln issued an order, a proclamation on October 3rd, 1863, establishing Thanksgiving as a national holiday. She died in 1879. She was 91 years old. She's often called the mother of Thanksgiving because of all the years she spent fighting to make it a national holiday. Because of her, Americans can celebrate a day of thanks with her families and friends. She could have been satisfied just serving a meal to her own family. But she stepped out on faith and fought for others. She dedicated her life to serving. Dedicated Christians serve. We serve outside our world. We serve outside of our selfish focused. We serve outside of our families. We serve outside of our church. We have our eyes outside of the window. And we're looking to see what needs are in the world. Dedicated Christians serve. They think of others. that gives so others have it better. My question is, who are you serving today? Who do you think about besides you and your family? Who do you think that you can give anything to? When you look at all that you've amassed, look at all that you have, all we have to wear, all we have to eat, do we think of anybody else other than ourselves? God is far more interested in why you serve others than in how well you serve them. God is interested in quality service, not quantity. Use our little dresses as an example. We're only looking to hit 50 little girls. But if we only made a difference in one child's life, we could change that child's world. So imagine what we could do if we impact 50 little girls. See, God is always looking at our heart. He wants us to serve willingly and eagerly out of love for Jesus and gratitude. Jesus takes a risk when he blesses us. We forget being sick, Sister Leela. A lot of people don't remember. They don't remember laying on their back. They don't remember noticing the tiles in the ceiling. They don't remember who serviced them. They don't remember who visited them. They don't remember who wiped their feet. They don't remember who dried their eyes. They don't remember being broke without food. They don't remember walking when they got a car now. They don't remember when they only had one suit to wear. They don't remember where they came from. And so every time that Jesus blesses us, I'm here to tell you, he takes a risk.
Yes, he does.
See, we are more like Jesus when we are serving others. John 13:14 says that after washing his disciples' feet, imagine that. Jesus said, I have given you an example to follow. Do as I have done. He was washing his disciples' feet. We're hard pressed to put the laundry in the dryer in the same house with somebody else. They're in our way. Can you come move your clothes? But he would wash his disciples' feet. The Bible says that everyone is called to serve God by serving others. Many people have the misconception that being called, quote, called, is something only the pastor and other church leaders experience. But we are all called to serve others. We're not saved by serving. But I'm here to tell you that we are saved for serving. Let me say it again. We are not saved because we serve. But because we're saved, we should serve. I'm going to say it again. Somebody mix it. Serving ain't going to save you. But how you show you saved is you serve. When you read Apostle Paul, he gave 3 insights as to why service is important. In Galatians 5:13, he says, you, my brother, were called to be free. But do not use your freedom to indulge a sinful nature. Rather, serve one another in love. So why are we called to serve? First, the basis for serving others is salvation. Paul says, you were called to be free. We're only free through Jesus' blood. You cannot serve God until you've been set free by Jesus. It is a prerequisite to serving. Until you experience the changing power of God's grace in your life. You'll spend all your time focused on yourself. Focus on my hurts. Focus on my issues. All my naysayers. They talk about me. They hurt my feelings. They tear me down. We spend all our time worried about ourselves. Our hang-ups. We're too busy worried about us to think about others. Then he says that the barrier to serving others is selfishness. He says, do not use your freedom to indulge the sinful nature. The number one reason that, thank you, we don't have time or energy to serve others, excuse me, is that we are preoccupied. You know what preoccupied means? All we think about is ourselves. We're worried about our agendas. I'm worried about my dreams. I'm worried about my goals. I'm focused on my pleasures. Worried about my job. Worried about my bank account. We spend all our time worrying. Only a small majority use their lives to serve others. But Jesus said in Mark 8:35, if you insist on saving your life, you're going to lose it. Only those who throw away their lives for my sake and for the sake of the good news will ever know what it means to really live. Church, I stopped by this morning to tell you, when you're taking care of only yourself, you're living a real small life.
All right now.
To have a big life, you got to get out of the way. And you got to use this like a service truck. And you got to do it like you're doing it unto God.
All right.
And you walk around not looking at your problems.
All right,
You walk around not looking at other people. You walk around not worrying about what they say.
That's right.
You have to be careful what you feel in your heart. Because you got to worry about who you love and why you love. You got to be worried about what you think. Because your thoughts will drive you over the edge. They'll throw you over the edge. You got to be careful what you do. Your intentions have to be honorable. So what you do is you put service of others in front of you. And you use the word of God. This is your armor. And you can have on the breastplate. And you can have your feet shod. You can have on the helmet. But I'm here to tell you, when they back you up into a corner, when they get you backed all up by yourself, and they talking about you, you can think about all the thoughts you want. You can be all dressed for war. But I'm here to tell you, unless you have this armor, if you're not ready to fight with the spirit of the sword, if you're not ready to fight with the word of God, and so what you do is you use this like your platter. Put your neighbors on this platter. Put your friends on this platter. In fact, every now and then you need to serve an enemy or two. And then you lure it as unto God. And you put your eyes on God. And you don't look around at what they're saying. And you don't care what they're doing. And you just keep on going. And keep on focusing. And they try to back you up a little bit. But I'm here to tell you, when you're ready to take it all back, when you're ready to fight the enemy back, get to serving other folk. I feel I'm biting on my ankles, and I know I'm deep in the water, but I got my eyes on God as I serve other people. And when I serve other people, then God will take care of my problems. I got my eyes on Him. I don't care what you say. I got my eyes on Him. I don't care what you do. In fact, people say, where's your God now? You're going through so much. Where's your God now while they're tearing you down? Where's your God now? I'm focused on Him because I see at the end of the line, at the finish line, He's sitting there waiting to see if I'll trust Him and if I'll follow Him. And you may ask me how I know. Man, He hung on the cross for me. He died for me. But early Sunday morning, He got up for me.
Thank you, Lord.
He got up for me.
Glory.
He got up for me. A wretch like me. He got up for me. And He's still serving me. And all I can do is be dedicated.
Yes, Lord.
Church, dedicated Christian serve. Find someone to serve. Get off your high horse. Stop worrying about yourself. God will take care of you as you take care of His people. Amen. Father God, thank you.